Okay, so I'm really nervous. So today is the day before surgery. I've arrived at the hospital. We're going home. 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 I'm home, in bed. My hair has been washed. The TV is set up over there for a friend's marathon. The love of my life is in the doorway. 6 nights in hospital instead of 2. 4 blood tests. 3 cannulas. 2 surgeries. 2 hematoma squeezes. 2 drains and a catheter. All of that later, and we are home.
Look at that improvement. You're now slightly faster than a snail.
I dressed myself for the first time. The catheter's out. Oh my god, I'm so happy. The other day, I realised I can do this again, pain-free. Look. 2 at a time. Hey guys, it's Jamie, and my penis in its current form is 6 months old, and that's crazy. Happy half birthday to my penis. Half birthdays are a thing. Honestly, time goes by so fast, and it just feels like a couple of weeks ago that I was in the hospital and coming home and walking around like I'd pooped myself and not being able to sit down properly and having a catheter. Oh my god, I'm so glad I don't have a catheter anymore. I'm still grateful to be able to just pee. The way things are now in terms of my body just feel so much more natural. I feel so much more comfortable with myself. My body image has just changed in so many positive ways, it's crazy. And I mean, obviously I felt like lower surgery was gonna improve the way I felt about myself. There were reasons why I wanted it. I had dysphoria over that area before and stuff like that. But I've genuinely been so surprised by just how much it's changed the way I feel about myself, and it's been awesome. 7 years ago, if you told me that I would be this comfortable in my own skin, I never would have believed you. If you watch my previous vlogs and the stuff that I filmed whilst I was in the hospital and like the days immediately after I had surgery, you will know that I had several complications. I had a hematoma, I had an arterial bleed, and I had to go down for a second operation to fix all that. I was in a lot of pain and it wasn't fun. But seriously, like 6 months down the line, all worth it. All worth it. There are clips of me in the hospital asking myself if I regret it and being like, why did I put myself through this? And just really questioning what I was doing. But then as soon as I got out of that really difficult bit where it had obviously had a negative impact in what I could do in my life and putting me in pain and stuff temporarily, once that was gone, it was just like, so worth it. It's obviously so difficult in the moment to deal with stuff, especially if it goes wrong and especially if it's really impacting things a lot and in a very negative way. But honestly, the pain and the discomfort and the fear that I felt in surgery, especially when things started to go wrong, are such a distant memory now, and they're kind of, it's almost like they've been overwritten by the positive impact that having this surgery has had on my life. I mean, I know it wasn't great. I remember that I didn't like it, but I don't remember details. Enough of the soppy stuff, I'm sorry. Since my last update, which was at 3 months post-op, if you haven't watched that, I'll leave the link down below. Things have just settled down. The swelling has completely gone now, which also unfortunately means that the size of my bolts has also decreased because a lot of the swelling was in like the scrotum area, which is now like, I don't want to say shriveled up because I don't want to offend it, but it has shrunk. The scars that I have are not visible, like they're not, you wouldn't really tell that there are scars down there, but they were very, very tight up until about 4 months post-op, but they've really started to soften, and that means that some of like the residual painful areas are starting to be not so painful anymore, and yeah, it's just all like settling very nicely, and this is kind of the pattern that it took with my top surgery as well. It does take a good 6 months for things to start really like settling in, feeling more natural, for scars to soften up, swelling to be completely gone. You know, it does take a while. On the side where I had the hematoma, like the worst, and the arterial bleed bit, there is a thicker bit of scar which was very tough for quite a long time, but that's really starting to like loosen up and be a bit less painful now as well. So that's all good. It's going good. I also had a post-op appointment, like 6-month post-op appointment with the surgeon last week, and I just have a couple updates on healing and the next stage and stuff. So in terms of healing, everything is looking good. It's all healed really well. And at like my last checkup, he was really surprised about how well it had healed given the complications I had. So like it seems that in the aftermath of complications, I was very fortunate and things are looking good. But two things, the extra bit of like scar tissue that I have that's a bit thicker from the hematoma, he's gonna remove that at the next stage just to sort it out. I don't know, he just said he's gonna do something, he has a plan. And also there is a slight hiccup on my journey to balls. Unfortunately, the factory that makes the testicular implants I was gonna have, I think they're called Osmeds, and they go in at like raisin size, and then gradually over like the course of about a month they go to about that size, and that's kind of like the typical size of the implants they use anyway. But it just helps if you have a smaller scrotum, it doesn't overstretch it in one go. Just putting the implants in at their regular size, it basically means that it stretches gradually, and you in essence grow your own balls like Orbeez. And I love that idea. But unfortunately, they're no longer being made, so I can't have them. The disappointment is real. What that means is getting balls is gonna take a little bit longer and requires one extra stage of surgery. So instead of having one more surgery where they're both put in at the same time, I'll be having one surgery where one will be put in and then a second surgery where the other one will be put in. So instead of it being, you know, like done and they like expand like, it's just gonna be like in one, 6 months later the next one goes in, roughly 6 months. I don't really know how long it's gonna be. It does also mean a fair while of being lopsided in the ball department, but you know, if it gets me the end result at the end of the day, that sentence got away from me. If it gets me to where I want to be at the end of the day, then that's fine. I just have to deal with the extra surgery. That's okay. I'm a bit disappointed, not gonna lie, that it's not just like one more and then I'm done. But they're very simple procedures, particularly compared to what I had the first time around. So it's like a 1-day stay in hospital, no catheter, I can go home. It's nowhere near as major, big surgery as the first one. Yeah. So yeah, overall I'm chill about it. It's just the lopsidedness that might be a bit weird. But being 6 months post-op has really given me some time to like reflect on the decisions I made in terms of what I got with bottom surgery, because obviously you've got like the two major paths of like metoidioplasty, which is what I went for, or phalloplasty, and then within each one you've got different options. So with metoidioplasty, you can get a simple release of the penis, you can get the creation of a scrotum, you can get a hysterectomy along with that, urethral lengthening, a vaginectomy where they close up the vaginal opening. You can get loads of different options within metoidioplasty. It's not like a one thing for everybody. Having time to reflect on that, the major things that I opted for and not for is that I went for release and a scrotoplasty, and I'll have testicular implants, and I have testicular implants as well, which is what I just talked about. But I didn't go for urethral lengthening or a hysterectomy. I knew that urethral lengthening wasn't something I wanted. It doesn't bother me how I pee, I really don't care. But there was just this little thing that was like, what if I don't get it and then I regret it? Because it's going to be so much harder to rectify that later than if I just went for it in the first place. But I'm happy to say that I have no regrets. I'm very happy with the decisions I've made. I'm very happy with what I decided to get and what I didn't decide to get, and I have no regrets whatsoever. It's worked out really well for me. So yeah, I think that's it for a 6-month update, and I will probably not talk about my penis again until I have the next stage of surgery. Yeah, like roll on the official 1-year birthday for it as well. That would be exciting. I do have a few other topics and video ideas that I have surrounding lower surgery and the whole thing that I will be making at some point. I'm not sure if that'll be before or after my next stage. It really depends on when the next stage is. Hopefully it'll be this year, because I would definitely like to have at least one ball by the time I'm 25, which is next February. So cross your fingers for me. Thank you so much guys for joining me on this penis journey. I don't know what else to call it. It's been such a crazy 6 months, not just in terms of lower surgery, but just life in general. And I can't believe it's been 6 months. It does not feel like it's been that long. Oh my God. When I made the little clip that you guys saw at the beginning of this video, it was so weird. I've not watched that stuff back since like I made it, really. And it did kind of bring me back to the hospital, and I was like, oh yeah, it was horrible, wasn't it? Look at my hair, look at the way I'm walking. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so worth it. Thank you for all the support over the past 6 months. Thank you for watching this journey. It's not over yet. I'm still going to be updating you guys. So I don't know why I'm sounding all sentimental and like, oh, thank you. So I'm going to leave it here. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Much love. Bye.